focus is the human reproductive system. Now, the male human reproductive system has these 5 structures. Please bear in mind that we only pick those 5 structures because that's what this level is trying to address. If you are an A level watching this, you need to know more than this. For example, if I was going to teach you A level, you're going to know the name of the glands, which is prostate gland and Cowper's gland, so to say. And not just that, even seminal vesicle. So we have prostate gland, seminal vesicle, and Cowper's gland. But if you're a KS3 student, you don't really need to know those really. But I'm going to show you the diagram, but it's not something you'll be assessed in an exam, so to say. So we have glands, sperm ducts, otherwise called vas deferens. Vas deferens. Then we have urethra, and we have penis. We have testes. This testis is plural. If it is singular, it's going to be T-E-S-T-I-S. And please do not mistake this urethra for ureter, which conveys urine from the kidney to the bladder. This is called ureter. But this one, urethra, is the one within the penis for urination and for carrying of semen in males, and is for only urination in females, just beneath, before the vagina, so to say. All right, so let's move on. So you should pay attention to each of these because as time goes, I'm going to ask you questions on this. So here are the structure we mentioned earlier. Oh, good. This is the ureter I was talking about, coming from the kidney. But this is not. I just want you not to mistake this for this. So these are what you need to know. This is the urethra, which is within the penis. This part I'm putting a scribble. That's where semen and urine passes through in males. Males use urethra for both, for reproduction by passing out semen and for excretion by passing out urine. But in female, urethra is only used for urination, vagina is used for reproduction. So we have the penis, we have the testes, one singular here, we have the sperm duct. I told you that another word for sperm duct is vas deferens, so we can say SD, which is sperm duct. Then I want you to also know this one called epididymis. I didn't write it on that, but it's worth knowing too. You can be assessed on it seriously. Then you have now you have this one and this one, both form the glands. Because the KS3 curriculum, GCSE, you're not it's not necessary you know each of this name, but any other person watching this, or for knowledge sake, even if you're a KS3 student, there's something wrong in you knowing this, so to say. And of course, this is scrotal sac. So as we move on, we are going to talk about the function of each of them. But there's one particular one I need to talk about function now, which is epididymis. Or let me do a quick overview, just a few seconds. Let me do a quick overview of this because I want to bring out something here. Now, the testes makes the sperm cells. Then when this testis has made the sperm cell, it moves and it is stored in the epididymis, which is here. So if you are asked where's the sperm cell stored, not semen, please. I'm going to tell you the difference between the two. Where is the sperm cell stored? It is in the epididymis. So once it is there, when it is needed, most times during coitus. Now, coitus is another word for sexual intercourse. I use that because it's easier to use. So coitus, during coitus, which is sexual intercourse, sperm cell moves from this epididymis, goes in through the sperm duct like that. Then when it gets around here, the fluid from the seminal vesicle, this guy, comes in here to meet the sperm cell. The fluid from the prostate gland itself, where I'm putting that big dot, comes in to meet the sperm cell. From this point onward, it is now called semen. So we can say that semen is sperm cell, you will be assessed majorly, on this. Even in KS3, it's a common thing you should expect in your test, is sperm cell plus the fluids from the glands, so to say. That's why I mentioned this gland and this gland, so to say. You might want to rewind the video to watch that again if need be. All right, so let's get to see what are the functions of each of these things. So the two testes, one of them being cock testes, is of course is the scrotal sac, or that reminds me, it can also be called testicles. Testicles singular, testicles plural, but either way, that's. Now what's the function of the testes? It is to make the male gametes, which is called sperm cell, and also to make the male hormone, which makes the male to have the secondary sexual characteristics which they have, talking about the growth of hair and all of those things on the face and some behavioral changes. We're going to see that when we get to the puberty aspect of this video. All right, so two functions of the testes: make sperm cells, which is the male gametes, and also make the male hormone, which is called testosterone. All right, it's not really necessary you know the name of the hormone as a case student. Now the next thing is the sperm duct and the glands. Don't forget that another name for sperm duct is vas deferens. So the sperm duct sperm pass through sperm duct and mix with fluid by the glands. I think I showed you something like that not quite long. So basically the sperm will pass through the sperm duct. That's why it's called sperm duct. Duct is a tube and it mixes with the fluids. You can, like I told you, where it's going to meet with each other then the fluid provides the sperm cell with nutrients, and the mixture of sperm cell and fluids from the gland is called semen. This is a very vital point. Now let me explain this quickly. When it says that, because the fluid is not just there for fun, it's there because it helps to keep the sperm cells alive. Now it prevents the sperm cell from dying when it's passing. In males, it is used to urethra is also used for urination. So when the fluid encodes or is mixed with the sperm cell, it prevents the sperm cell from dying as it passes through the urethra, because there could be some urine left there. So if not for that fluid coming from the glands, it will eventually just die. Number one. Number two, the body of the female too, the vagina as it were, is also acidic. It's a protective measure to prevent the female from having infection. So if not for sperm cell, this fluid, sperm cell is quite really fragile, and so it will just die there. So the fluid, not just nutrients, also protects. That is a very valid information. All right, moving on. Don't forget what forms the sperm cell. So what forms the semen. Then the next thing is the penis and the urethra. The penis has two functions. Well, let me say this. You can say the penis has two functions, and you can say urethra has two functions, because the urethra is within the penis. So when you remember the function of urethra, just remember the function of the penis. All right. So number one, to pass out urine. Number two, to pass out semen. Those are the two functions. Of course, if it's doing these two functions, hope the two of them won't get mixed up. Yes, it will get mixed up under normal circumstances, except something goes wrong. And what's that? There's a ring of muscle that prevents the semen from mixing with the sperm cell or with the urine. Now, let me explain what this means. What this sentence means is that when urine is coming out, semen will not come out during that period. When semen is coming out, urine will not come out during that period. So it means that there's a muscle, when urine is coming out, it blocks semen from coming out. I'm not sure I've heard that there's urination and semen coming out at the same time. It's almost impossible. And that's made possible because there's a muscle that closes the passage of either of these when one of these is coming out. Hope that made sense. So, okay, quick quiz. Let's take a look at the diagram. You won't be asked to draw at this level, sincerely. You won't be asked to draw, but I would, you can be, and you will be asked to label. So I'm going to want you to pause this video and attempt each of the questions before I say it. All right. This is C. Let's make these D. As I'm saying that, I'm expecting you to start E, F, then well, let's just call, I'm the one actually made out of this. It wasn't the other diagram I showed you, but G. So pause the video and attempt all of this. Then if you've done that, you can hear my answers now. So A, this is the epididymis. B, that's the testis singular. C, this is the sperm duct. Or if you write vas deferens, or you say vas deferens, still correct. This is D, this is the scrotum. Or if you say scrotal sac. E, that's the penis. Even if you're pointing around there, still the penis. Even that's the erectile tissue of the penis. F, this is the urethra. Then this is the, oh wow, coincidentally G for gland. Anyways, so don't forget, this guy is actually prostatic gland. This is seminal vesicle. But like I told you, you would not really be asked to say the function of, to mention their name differently, just collectively called glands.